notice. He fought 6 weeks ago and lost to Garing Lane, who had lost 10 in a row. Coming in, Melvin Foster, 5'11", and an ungodly 274 pounds. 23-8-1, 17 knockouts. He's 3-6 in his last 9. Has been knocked out 5 times. Derrick Jefferson, 29 years of age, fighting out of the Motor City of Detroit, Michigan. Weighed in at 243 pounds. He is 20-0-1 with 16 knockouts, coming off a June 20th split decision win against Obed Sullivan. Frank Garza is the referee, and let's take a look at the rules for tonight's first bout of the evening. The Saginaw Chippewa tribe governing tonight's rules. 3 knockdown rule in effect, standing 8 count in effect. Fighter can be saved by the bell in the final round only. Only the referee may stop at accidental cuts. They'll go to the scorecards after half the rounds are complete. Well, Derrick Jefferson is ranked number 9 by the WBA, and we asked him about being undefeated and being ranked only 9th. He has amateur wins against Michael Grant, Lawrence Clay Bay, and he said, listen, I don't have any relatives in the ranking departments of the major organizations, and he'll go out tonight and try to make a statement. We had him here on ESPN2 in June of last year, 1998, and had a 10-round decision against Levi Billups. Everyone thought Jefferson would take him out, and Jefferson said that he tried too hard to take Billups out, and it was a sloppy effort, but he feels he's learned from there. And Teddy, he's obviously very big, very athletic, so he does have a lot of tools. Let's see if he knows how to use them.
He's going to be using with, as you mentioned, with a very overweight Melvin Foster. Melvin Foster, when he turned pro back in '92, was really more like a cruiserweight at 198 pounds. He's steadily grown, but this is excessive because, as you can see, he's not a tall guy. Should not be carrying 270 pounds.
He took the bout on a couple of days' notice. Melvin Foster did, and take a look. Foster has struggled over the last few years. He said, the reason why I took the fight, I'm getting an undefeated guy in front of me, and I have a chance to prove to people that I'm not washed up. He takes a right hand and he backs away from Jefferson. I asked him, well, how do you defend the fact that in your last 7 fights you have 5 losses, you've been knocked out 4 times? If you were a lawyer, how would you defend not being washed up? And he said, tonight you'll see a new me. You're seeing a bigger him.
He should see some slim, fast diet. That's what he should see. His best punch, Melvin Foster, is that looping right hand. He likes to throw that. He has a little bit of power in it. He was a good amateur, Melvin Foster. National amateur champion.
Lost in the '92 Olympic trials to Donnell Nicholson. He went on to win a berth on the United States Olympic boxing team.
Of course, Jefferson was a good amateur, too. '94 National Golden Glove champion. Beat Michael Grant in the amateurs. And beat '96 Olympian Lawrence Clay Bay in the amateurs.
Foster's been knocked out 5 times. Hasim Rahman's got him, Robert Hawkins, Jeff Wooden, Jimmy Thunder, and Corey Sanders, and not the South African Corey Sanders. Mentioned for Foster in his last 7 bouts, he's lost 5 times. The 2 wins against prospect Jade Scott, a 10-round decision. And in August of '98, a 9th-round knockout of 46-year-old Mike Weaver. He's been in against Michael Moore, Carl Williams, Trevor Berbick, Mitch Bloodgreen.
You would think that Jefferson, obviously, Foster would want to be inside with the taller Derrick Jefferson. Where you can throw that looping right hand. Sometimes you can start downstairs and then loop the right hand up top. He's effective with that, Foster, usually.
Left hand by Jefferson. The hook found the chin of Foster.
You can see Foster trying that looping right hand there, but he was a little too far away.
With left hand, and then a right to the rib cage. Final seconds of this first round. Jefferson controlling Melvin Foster, and there's the bell to end round number 1. Well, coming up in our main event tonight, pretty good bout between Bronco McCart from Monroe, Michigan, taking on Jason Papillon in tonight's main event here on Friday Night Fights on the Deuce. McCart 37-2 with 26 knockouts. Papillon 31-3-1 with 22 knockouts. Glad you could join us for Friday Night Fights on the Deuce. Bob Papa along with Teddy Atlas. And Teddy, this is a very important night for Bronco McCart on many levels.
Yeah, it is. There's no doubt about that. Bronco McCart wants to showcase himself. They're talking about possible fight on HBO with David Reed, who's one of the world champions. Antonio Vargas was even mentioned as one of the possible opponents. Marco McCutcheon, the last few years, this year, third fight this year, but before that, in 97 and 98, not very active, dropped in the ratings. He is one of the top junior welterweights in the world. He has to stay active. He has to look good tonight. It's very important.
Yeah, well, on ESPN back in 1996, he lost in his hometown to Winky Wright, lost the WBO Junior Middleweight Championship, and his career really hasn't recovered. And Max, I heard you last week talking about Holyfield and Lewis. I'm taking Holyfield again. We began round number 2 between Melvin Foster and Derrick Jefferson. And round 1 controlled by Jefferson. Jefferson threw 29 more punches. He landed 9 more. And take a look at the numbers from that first round. And again, Jefferson teeing off. Oh, Foster feels that he got hit with a low blow. Let's see if referee Frank Garza agrees.
Well, of course, Jefferson wants to go to that soft body and that ample body of Foster.
Jefferson added Phil Miller to his corner.
Phil Miller, solid boxing guy. He's working the cuts right now for Jefferson, but one of the old school trainers, one of the real trainers and teachers in this business. From Detroit, he, of course, led James Toney to the middleweight title back when Toney was pound for pound one of the top guys in the sport.
Jefferson with Claude Strickland as his main trainer. Jefferson got a late start in the sport. He was a program director to YMCA in Detroit, and Claude Strickland saw him and saw that he had some athletic potential, and Jefferson was interested in boxing, and Strickland said, listen, I'll give you 1 month. If you show me that you want to work, and if I see some potential, we'll take you on. And 1 month later, Jefferson was winning the Detroit Golden Gloves, and they've been together ever since.
What Jefferson has to do here is not smother himself. He's the taller guy to keep that distance where it's good for him, bad for Foster. If Foster wants to get close, he has to reach and fall into punches. Right now, I think Jefferson should be using that jab. Full extension on that jab and forcing Foster to reach in. Maybe lean forward a little bit where Jefferson can use that uppercut.
Jefferson told us yesterday that he's been working on utilizing that left hand more. That's the soft jab, Teddy, that you don't want to see from Jefferson, right?
No, because that allows Foster to close the gap. The stiff jab, that's a good point. The stiff jab, the extended jab is what you want with a shorter guy when you're the taller guy. Keep him at a range that's good for you, bad for him. If he's going to be able to change things, he has to reach and take chances. Foster, that is, the shorter guy. And then, of course, Jefferson should be ready to counter. Move him into punches. That looping right hand, you can see Melvin threw it there. There's few and far between, but that's the punch he depends on the most.
As we come to the end of round number 2, Derrick Jefferson clearly controlling Melvin Foster. Good left hook to the chin by Jefferson.
ESPN presents Know the Game. The official clock for an MLS game, as in most American sports, runs backwards. Each half starts at 45 minutes and counts down to 0. The official time is displayed on the stadium clock. The referee signals time starts and stoppages for injuries or other game disturbances. Both halves will automatically end at 0. There is no additional